then look, Jonny's coming off a 3-game win. Definitely a lot of confidence. He's running some good momentum, so I think the start of the match is going to be very important for Jonny, especially to set a tone.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll see how quickly Jack can find his rhythm. This is his first match of the day. He's coming off a bye.
Yeah, he's coming out hot. Jonny knows he's got to come out strong, quick.
Yep, that's a big forehand inside out right there.
Yeah, and just the ease that he comes through with that.
0-1. Side out.
It's a good deep return there from Jonny.
I mean, I think he really has to get to Jack early. I don't think there's a choice in making a statement, like you said, early in this match. Deep returns, deep serves, putting a lot of pressure on him because, let's face it, Jack's wingspan is a little bit longer than Jonny's.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. Jonny's fast, though. Let's say.
Jonny's very fast.
He
sure.
is.
So is Jack. His first step is lining fast.
Yes.
0-1.
Yeah, a little bit of a short return there, and you see him pay the price right away.
Yeah, I
Can't give Jack too much time, especially on his forehand.
He definitely knows he's got to beat him to the net and kind of punish him early if he's got a chance in this. But those returns, they have to be worth it. Coming in on short returns is not usually going to be to his benefit.
Most certainly.
1-1.
Good touch there from Jack.
You can even see Jonny, these last few points, is even kind of pushing against the net in between them. And he's realizing on those serves he doesn't have a lot of room to respond to those.
Oh, that's a great shot from Jonny. Nice running forehand.
Yeah. So much better decision there. He's not coming in on that return. He's going to go for that passing shot, which it's got to be great.
1-1. Side out.
I actually don't mind that miss.
Yeah.
He definitely has to gain a little bit of an edge at the start of the point with that serve. He's got to take some risk with it.
1-1.
It's absolutely worth missing it every so often.
That's a great ball.
Yeah. We're at 2-1.
2-1.
It's a great serve.
Ball. Point.
You see how much pressure that serve is put on Jonny so quickly. He definitely have so much different energy. Sock moves a little bit slower on the court, kind of conserves his energy.
Yeah, I think he's thinking a deep run here, long day.
Yeah, he's expecting that long day.
Exactly.
Side out. 1-3.
That's a great serve.
Yeah.
That's the kind of serve that Jonny needs.
Yeah, if he can pull him back like that, I mean, it's a great pattern if he can kind of duplicate it. Also saying that Jack's not going to get used to that too, so.
2-3.
That's a nice point for both players.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's not a ball he's going to miss a lot. It's again one of those shots that Jack Sock's going to hit quite often, move around that backhand and take his forehand. I mean, I think he does that unbelievably well.
Yeah, Jonny got it.
Point. Side out. Three, two. Point. Four, two.
There's Jack showcasing his speed.
I mean, just
Great
2
movement around the
steps.
court, yep.
2 steps, and he's there covering that space.
Very fast.
Yeah. I think efficiency is something he does so well.
Right out.
I mean, interesting. You're watching Jonny, and some of these balls are kind of higher and loopier, top spinny, and then you've got some that are a lot shorter. And honestly, the variety is not terrible. It's kind of I think a good look if he can kind of keep up some of that variety, at least not let Jack get super consistent with these shots.
Jack is definitely getting dialed in on the returns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's putting more and more pressure on Jonny right after the serve.
I mean, it's breaking away a little bit now at 5-2.
It's a good serve.
Yeah.
Timeout receiver, 6-2.
And he's setting himself up for the rest of the point with those 2 shots. As you can see right there, Jonny's under pressure right away, whether Jack is serving or returning. So, yeah, Jonny's going to have to start taking a little bit more risk. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to hang in the point with Jack.
And then kind of right out the last few points, it's errors off the return from Jonny. That just kind of shows you how much pressure is coming out. And Jonny's coming off a good win, and then he's got Jack sock for a second round. That's a tough play for anybody. So.
Indeed. And Jack looks like he's finding his rhythm. That was a great backhand.
Absolutely. He made a comment there. He hit a backhand, which, yeah, we are used to him going around taking that as a forehand instead. He's like, I can do this too.
That's incredible.
And just
great angle.
Right in there.
4 feet behind the baseline. Not an easy shot to pull off.
Not at all. And suddenly we're at 9-2. That's a very different game from the beginning. It shows you how quickly this can get away from you.
10-2.
Oh, 10-2.
Just a touch out, but
Right out.
Jack is definitely going for it. Let's see if Jonny can gain some edge here with the serve. A little short.
And that tough thing about being so fast is he's also rushing himself quite often. So a lot of times we kind of use that speed to kind of counter some issues. But Jonny kind of maybe has to slow down just a tiny bit to make sure he's executing some of those shots. And giving Jack another game point.
And Jack with another backhand down the line. That's game 1 for you folks.
Super
11-2
smooth.
Jack sock.
Super smooth. I think.
Tinder's definitely changed a lot.
And I think it's great for our sport. I think it's.
100%. We're getting more and more of those tennis people.
It's
high-profile tennis people into it.
Yeah.
And look, Jack's had a lot of success, you know.
Yeah. So taking that same mentality and focus that they did on the tennis tour and now coming up there, it's great. It's great for all of us, and we're getting to see better and better players out here, and it's fun. I think it's exciting to see how the game is changing and evolving.
Definitely, they're showcasing some great athleticism. And you can see it with Jack. Look, off to a flyer again in game 2. Big serve, big forehand. Is making his backhand very hard to find.
When even he threw in purposely a couple of those backhands at the end of that first game, which is not the norm that he would normally go around, because we know that forehand is just such a huge shot from him.
Definitely.
And the
Jack
hardest
not afraid to go for his serve.
Absolutely.
He's okay with paying the price. Missing a couple of serves here and there.
I mean, he missed I think 2 serves in the first game, didn't change anything. He still won 11-2.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jonny on the board here in game 2.
1-4.
A little long on that. I think Jonny's did a little bit more height on his ball toss since the serve rules have kind of gone with the USAP standard, but Jack is kind of still keeping that.
Yeah,
that
low short release.
The low, yeah, just like a.
He's relying a lot on his wrist speed.
Yeah, he's got a lot of acceleration from that point with that open stance as well.
Right out.
Close call there.
Yeah.
Good spot switch from Jack. 1-5, game 2.
1-4.
Yeah, he's under severe pressure after the serve. That return was an absolute bullet coming to his backhand.
And you see that's just kind of he's got a little more room over here, but he's still feeling the pressure that he probably felt in that first game when he missed quite a few off those serves and returns.
Definitely. Ooh.
Point.
It's a good ball from Jack, just slightly out.
Yeah, just a little extra curve. I mean, his ball curves pretty well.
Side out. 1-5. Side out.
Yeah, and he's got more time to react to that. But I think that even just with the serve, you know, you're a tall guy, and even when it's below your waist, like with Jack, Jonny's closer to my size probably. So it is a little bit harder to get that leverage and power off the serve.
I'll recall the score. 5-1.
Great depth on that serve. A little cat and mouse here. Ooh. Jeff almost made it.
I mean,
Great speed to get there.
if that ball came up at all, he would have had it, absolutely.
1-5.
That's a great power.
Side out.
I think with Jack Sock coming in, it's going to be so difficult. That target that Jonny has is so small. So if he's got his paddle on at all, it's going to be tricky for him to pass him.
That's a little high.
Point.
What do you think? Is there anything you think that Jonny can do to turn this around right now?
Like I said earlier on, I think he's got to take a lot more risk with the return.
6-1.
He needs to try to find some depth and definitely a lot more pace on those returns, which is easier said than done considering that Jack is nailing the serve right now. Covering the court pretty well as well. Look at that. Oh, there you go.
There we go. And what I liked about that is Jonny slowing down more, settling into his shots a little more, and took a lot of pace off those. So they're more like drops versus passing shots. So
If he takes that much pace off, though, he better hit the right spot.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very
Gives
true.
Jack too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that serve again is too slow. Look, he's under pressure on his back and right away.
Point.
It is toasty out here, having to wipe off his hands probably after that little miss hit on that ball.
2-6. Point.
All right, that's the kind of serve I was talking about.
Yeah, a little more depth, a little more pressure.
Just trying to force some of those missed returns. Give himself a little more time.
3-6.
There you go. Another good serve. Oh, no.
Side out.
He had a good look there. Fortunately,
did.
couldn't convert.
6-3. Side out.
He's definitely gotten a few off of those kind of shorter balls. Jack's got a lot of topspin on his shots when he's coming in, so sometimes that shorter ball that's not going to get as much height is
Yeah,
is
especially if you
helpful.
can keep it low like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great return.
Point.
Good backhand from Jonny.
And again, just when he's staying in that shot, setting his feet and not rushing through, then I mean, he's able to put a few points here together. I think Jack showing off how many different shots can he hit in this point. I mean, baseline to baseline on both of those, a lob and that.
Here, a much closer game too.
Yeah.
6-4. Side out.
And again, another missed serve from Jack, but not damaging him in any way, especially if he's going to have a long day. He's got to make sure he's warming that up throughout his first few matches.
Yeah, find his rhythm. Good volley here.
Side out. 6-4.
Jonny really wasn't he hasn't been in a terrible spot. He's kind of kept it close the last few points, but you can just tell he's still anxious and overwhelmed with this whole thing. And, you know, so he's going to rush his shots. That's not going to help him. But, I mean, that return hit the baseline. So, I mean, that was from some depth from Jonny, and still Jack just came around and hit a very smooth.
Yeah, looks like that forehand's calibrating just fine.
Oh, yeah, he's not having an issue.
Cat and mouse here.
It is. He keeps trying to get to that backhand of Jack's, and
easier said than done.
It is. It's sometimes you got to give it to that forehand. I mean, it's there. Go ahead and give it to him. And you know, we're at 6-4. I feel like less than a minute ago, and now we're at 10-4 match point.
10-4.
It is a game of runs.
It is.
Side out.
All right, Jonny gets a little chance here. See if he can bring this a little closer.
4-10. Side out. Match point.
And there's that forehand that we know that is going to smoothly come around, and a solid win from Jack Sock in his first round. And he's going to play